people have no clue that they are even ratchet, so they don't even think that there's a problem. Okay, so let's start there. And I'm going to name a few things that will make you ratchet.
So in general, I love a good rant. I really do. I just feel like rants are so funny. It's so relatable. It's such a good release. And periodically, I will come on my channel and I will rant. Okay, listen, I don't care. I'm proudly judgmental. I don't care. Okay, I don't care what you call me because I am who I am. With that being said, I actually cannot stand tattoos. I can't stand tattoos, okay? So I don't even know where to begin with tattoos. But first of all, I just feel like tattoos make people, and I'm sorry if this is sexist, I don't care. I just don't care. Especially women, it makes you look dingy as heck. I don't know what it is, but like, I have never seen a person get tattoos and look elevated afterwards. I just haven't seen it. Have you? I haven't seen that before. Tattoos just, it decreases the value of the person in the looks department, in my opinion. It makes people look dingy. I think I'm talking about people who get excessive tattoos. You look dirty. You look like you smoke cigarettes. You look like your favorite activity is getting high off of weed. You look like you are lazy. That's what tattoos look like to me. I'm sorry. I also feel like tattoos make ladies look more manly. It definitely masculinizes you. I knew someone where she literally looked like a model and then she put this big, nasty, gigantic tattoo on her arm and now she looks ratchet. It really just decreased. I noticed that her like dating quality also went down. She started dating scammers and stuff like that, when before she would date very like wealthy guys and stuff. Like tattoos totally changes the vibe of the person. Okay, and I also wanted to say that I just don't believe that these two can coexist. I don't believe that people can be intelligent and put a bunch of tattoos on their body. Because, well, for me at least, I have always thought like 2 steps ahead. I've always thought about the future. So I don't have any tattoos because I've been new. Even when I was a teen and all of my friends around me were getting tattoos, I knew that it was a bad idea. Because if you logically think about it, it's really not that hard. I mean, my thinking process is not that difficult, but you would be surprised how many people lack it. Why would you put something permanent on your body when you're a teenager? Do you honestly believe you're going to like this when you're 35 years old? Like, be so freaking for real. And so that's why I think people who get tattoos are just a little bit slow in the head, okay? And then they always come up with this poor excuse that, oh, well, even if I don't like it, it's a representation of the memories that I had back then. That is complete BS. Most people, when they get older and they've had tattoos when they were teenagers, they regret it. So that whole, oh, I'm not going to regret it because it's the memories that are going to make me not regret it. That's a lie. You're lying to yourself. See, the thing about getting older is you start to think differently. You're not as impulsive. You're not as YOLO. Like when you're a teenager, you have this very like impulsive, forget it, YOLO, who cares? But when you're older, you start to think like how I'm thinking in this video. You start to critically think and actually ask yourself real valid questions. And once you critically think, they're like, those two can't coexist. So that's why a lot of people, when they get older, they end up regretting having a bunch of tattoos because they're thinking like how I'm thinking. Like they're realizing like, oh my gosh, this looks ridiculous. I look goofy. You know, have you ever seen those girls where they're trying to look dressed up and they put on a dress and they have this big nasty tattoo all throughout their body and their legs and their arms and their chest and their neck? Think of Summer Walker. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Notice how Summer Walker is pretty, you know, whatever. Her body is questionable because she got the BBL. But nevertheless, sometimes she do be wearing very nice outfits and it's like the tattoos ruins her outfit every single time. It's like people with tattoos, I'm sorry, but I look at you guys as degenerate, slow people. I'm sorry. And the reason is because you guys do not think about the nuances. What if you wanted to change your aesthetic? What if you change your mind? Do you guys not consider that when you get tattoos? What if you change your mind? What if you don't like this style in 20 years? What if you go down a road where you want to dedicate your life to Christ and you want a cleaned image? Like, you could become so many different fonts and genres, and you guys just don't consider that. You're simple-minded. You think that you're just going to stay the same for the rest of your life. And unfortunately, that's not how life works. Even for me, I've been so many different fonts that a woman could be. It's really crazy. So like, I just feel so bad when I see people get tattoos. I remember when I was younger, I would literally watch all of my peers get tattoos, and I knew in my head that this was dumb. They would get the dumbest tattoo. One girl that I knew literally put the Nike sign on her leg. And I was like, girl, what if you go through a lane where you want more of the clean image? I don't do anything permanent to my body because I'm constantly changing my mind. Like, and that's just how humans are. Humans are constantly evolving, changing, developing. Like, technically, no one is technically set in stone, you know? These are things that I thought of even when I was a teenager. So like, why don't people, I always looked at people who would do things like this and I wondered, why don't they think like this? It's just such a horrible idea. It's terrible. And then none of you guys are even good at choosing tattoos. Most of the people that I met do not pick good tattoos at all. Like, the tattoos be horrible. And one person had said that they avoid people with tattoos because it's a sign that they're crazy, because a lot of times people who get tattoos, it's like based on their trauma. So if a friend had passed away, they put the tattoo of the friend on their body. Yeah. So you guys are literally just walking around like one big trauma stamp. The thing is, I don't mind being judgmental. I'm actually proud of that representation because we need judgmental people. Like, we need judgmental people. Who is going to be the one to tell you that this is a bad idea? You know, and I'm usually always right. The thing about being judgmental is I'm not walking around like you guys doing TikToks about how I hate my tattoos that I got when I was 16 years old. I don't have major, huge, horrible mistakes that I've made in life because I'm judgmental. So it's like the things that people might shame me for, I'm actually happy that I am that way because it's prevented me from doing a lot of dumb things. And it makes me think twice before doing things, you know? So, yeah, I proudly wear that title. I don't care. I do not care. I'm going to keep coming on here and judging everyone. Okay? It's very fun. I get a kick out of it. But just like what Kim Kardashian said, something like you don't put a sticker on a Bentley or something, a bumper sticker on a Bentley, that's exactly how I feel about tattoos. That quote is very true. If you are so high class and hypergamous or whatever high leveled up word that you use, literally, why would you draw on yourself? So think about it like this. If you bought a Louis bag, would you put drawings all over the Louis bag? No, because it's valuable. So when people do that to their body, that's exactly what we think of people. We think they're just low value people. You know, they're going to come with a lot of issues. They're going to come with a lot of traumas and problems. I just feel like overall tattoos lowers your value because that saying is very true. If you have something super valuable, you don't go and mark it all up. And so that's why I think a lot of people, sometimes they kind of correlate tattoos to mental health problems because it does kind of represent the person's mental state in a way. Because if you are truly content with yourself and you're happy with your existence, why would you, if you value yourself, why would you draw all over yourself? Okay, like, come on. And so one of my subscribers had asked me to do a video about tattoos, and I told her, girl, I have nothing nice to say about tattoos. But I think that's part of the reason why people like me, because I'm satisfying. And that's part of the reason why I came on YouTube, was because I was tired of people not saying what needs to be said. I'm tired of people trying to hold their tongue and try to sound politically correct. Just say it. Just say what we're all freaking thinking already. So, it's funny because I actually made my channel out of frustration. Because I was so tired of these cookie cutter YouTubers. Freaking say what needs to be freaking said. Okay? Dang. So that's the thing, like, I embrace being judgmental because I think that it's satisfying. In this world, we have a bunch of fakes, a bunch of people trying to act self-righteous. We need the rebellious people like me. We need the feisty people like me. Okay? People like me keep YouTube interesting. So even if you watch my video, I think one of the videos where I was really fed up was when I did my video on Risa Tisa, and it's like titled, "Are You Your Type's Type?" Go check that out. I was fed up. I had watched like several videos on Risa Tisa, and I'm like, oh my gosh, nobody is saying it. So, okay, let me say it. And in that video, it's really funny because I was just blunt. Like, sometimes I'm nice in certain videos, but that video, enough was enough. Like, nobody wants to say it. Risa, ma'am. Why would this type of man want you? So yeah, go check that video out. Okay, anyways, back to the tattoos. Yeah, tattoos is something that high quality women do not do. Period. You don't see supermodels with tattoos all over the place. You don't see super hot fine chicks with tattoos all over their body. So, I mean, I don't know who needs to hear this, but I mean, okay, go ahead and cover your body in tattoos. It's giving lower class. You know what's really funny? Like, I don't like tattoos so much. Sometimes I literally have nightmares about tattoos. I have nightmares that I had got a tattoo and I can't get rid of it. I literally have dreams like that. Yes, that's how much I don't like tattoos. And then especially those people that are like 100% covered in tattoos. I'm sorry, but there's no way you can be mentally functional. It's just a huge red flag for me. And getting back to what I said, it just makes girls, like, when you're just covered in it, it looks masculine. It looks like you smoke cigarettes. It looks like your favorite hobby is smoking weed. It looks like you are an alcoholic. That's the vibe of tattoos, especially if you're like covered all in it, And I said what I said. I just don't care anymore. Like, people are gonna be mad at me regardless, so I'm just gonna talk my mess even more. Oh well.
Imagine, if you will, that you put a shirt on once when you were in your 20s, and now you have to wear that for the rest of your life. And that is what it feels like to get heavily tattooed before you turn into a fully developed adult human. I wanted to talk about, there's like a lot of reasons to regret my tattoos, but today specifically I wanted to talk about not matching my aesthetic, right? So I think if you ask almost anybody that's over 30, if they have a better idea of who they are in their 30s than they did in their 20s, they're gonna be like, oh my god, yes. I have all of these tattoos that don't necessarily reflect who I am at 36. They might have reflected a moment in time in my 20s, maybe a moment in time when I was like not doing so well mentally, and they are here forever. Before anybody says anything, no, I'm not getting all of my tattoos removed. Like, that's not even feasible. Don't even suggest it. Generally, I have like a lot more femme, girly aesthetic than I did when I was younger. I was a lot more dark and spooky and moody, and now like I have adult problems. I'm back to doing a bunch of stuff I liked to do when I was a kid, like collecting antiques and spending time outside, and I wear a lot of white and ruffles. My aesthetic just does not match. No shade to the artists, still get a ton of compliments on them, just wish that they weren't on my body. But I wanted to come on here and put myself out there and say I was told that I would regret my tattoos when I got older. I am older and I do regret my tattoos, and you might too. A lot of people have no clue that they are even ratchet, so they don't even think that there's a problem. Okay, so let's start there. And I'm going to name a few things that will make you ratchet. So, face tattoos, neck tattoos are ratchet. I'm sorry if you already have them. I have a tattoo right here, as y'all all know, but I can cover it up. It's small if I really needed to. Like, say I had to wear an evening gown or something. I could cover that up. I can cover it up in an interview. It's not all running up my face. Okay, so be careful with those tattoos because You might want to level up later on. Very masculine. They're not feminine at all. If you're going to get some, cover it up. Just because your Dusty liked it doesn't mean the CEO is going to like it. And if you don't have anything yet, don't get anything. You don't need it. It's going to be fun now. It's trendy and edgy now. But when you get older, it's not. You just look crazy. Like, think about it. If you get all that stuff done, all them tattoos, what are you going to look like at 50 years old? Have you ever seen a billionaire or a millionaire that's not a rapper with a woman with a bunch of tattoos all up in here? Or a Kardashian? Rob don't count. No, you don't, because they don't like it. Wealthy men don't like it. They like classy chicks without all that. I'm not trying to bash anyone or down anyone, but it's not feminine either. It's very masculine. Tattoos are very masculine. They're not feminine. Like in the old days, only men got tattoos. Sailors, stuff like that. Women didn't start getting tattoos until like, what? The 60s and 70s when they were rebelling. I can do what a man do.